Here we are in the heart of North Arlington, coming out of the Clarendon Station Metro line. If you know anything about Arlington, especially North Arlington, it is defined by the metro stop that you're next to or that you use on a daily basis. I love North Arlington because of the use and ease of access to all the metro lines, and you'll see the beautiful part of when we come out of the Clarendon metro stop, you're going to see all kinds of famous restaurants, shops, everything else you can do. Some of my favorites is Liberty Tavern, Spider Kelly's, that are all along Clarendon Boulevard and even the Clarendon Ballroom. And this is one of the large metro stops that people use consistently on their commute as they go back and forth, and even to go down into the city, to go into the district and enjoy everything that DC has to offer. Transportation coming and going. What does it look like? Not only to use the metro and all the metros along the Orange Line, but also Capital Bike Share. You're going to see these places all throughout the city of what you can use. It's as simple as scan to unlock, ride wherever you want to go. Now, Capital Bike Share has been around for a couple years, but what we've started to see is a nuance of not only just being able to use your own physical power, but also electric bikes, and on top of electric bikes, scooters. That's right, scooters has taken over what we've seen as well. And you'll note over here, scooters are kind of left everywhere. That's actually why a lot of people don't like scooters. I'm still a fan of it, though I think you should have to have a helmet to ride the scooters because they can be dangerous. I've actually seen some accidents from it. But you'll see Bird is one of the famous companies that has it, the scooter here on your left, and then even the electric bike here, where you can take advantage of not having to do your own manpower as you get around the city. As you can see in Arlington, they make it easy. They make it easy for you to enjoy and not have to fight and worry about parking. If you look here, there's very limited spots where you can park and enjoy the city. That's why so many people will Uber, Lyft. They'll even take, beyond the metro, they'll use their own power to do the Capital Ride Bike Share so that they can enjoy the city and not worry about having to find a place to park. So when you think North Arlington, the closest you can get to DC is actually Rosslyn. Within Rosslyn, this is just north of the Iwo Jima Memorial, you have a place called River Place. This is actually a co-op. Now, a co-op versus a condo, there's a big disparity, but I wanted to just show you this. What you see right now is River Place, and you'll find it online, and it's very attractive because of the sales price. It's going to be a lot lower than the typical condo or other properties you'll find in North Arlington. The challenge is you don't actually own the land. So they own a percentage, and it's on a land lease that has less than 35 years on it. So they're gonna have to renegotiate or do other things. So for a long-term purchase, it's not ideal. If you're just looking to come to rent and be accessible to everything, it's fantastic. But I wanted to point that out because you will see that pop up a lot in searches when you're searching online to especially live in North Arlington. North Arlington is a vibrant area. A lot of young people will move to North Arlington. The primary approach to that and the reason behind it is they actually want access to everything you're seeing now. It's kind of our form of an urban jungle, and what's fun about it is how it's surrounded by everything. You'll see here, I'm going to actually turn right and loop back around. Wilson and Clarendon Boulevard, those are the two streets that run through North Arlington, and they call it the Orange Line. So the Orange Line Metro is what carries you from basically Falls Church and even further all the way into the city. And so a lot of people will say, I want to live on the Metro Line. And in North Arlington, what they're talking about is living on the Orange Line. Now, as we're in Rosslyn right now, we're going to go away from the city. So we're going to start as close as possible in North Arlington as you can be. And then I'm going to make a U-turn here because we're basically right before where we would go into the district. And we're going to follow Wilson Boulevard up and kind of walk you through those different metro lines. And as I said before, it's concrete, right? It's it's hot in the summertime for sure. These buildings block a lot of the wind that would be coming through. It is a fun destination and area to live because you have retail, residential, you've got access to everything. And we're going to go from Rosslyn into Courthouse and then into Clarendon. You're going to get a feel for that as we drive you through. I think it's important to see it this way. You know, Google Map only does
so much for you to understand. But you've got hotels, of course, and many restaurants that people come and visit and want to be part of. Of course, you have the chains, but you still have some of the mom and pops here in North Arlington. And you'll see these monster high rises, you'll see those go down. You won't see as many as we go further west into Arlington. There are movie theaters and, of course, workout facilities, everything. I mean, many of these condo buildings will have their own exercise rooms that people will use as well. Now, we mentioned it before, traffic, so especially in North Arlington, you need to have parking. You do not want to buy a property without parking because the streets fill up fast. There's not a lot of extra parking, and it's by meter, so it can definitely run up high. Here in DC and Virginia, even Maryland, they use Park Mobile, which is a great device, so you can park, but many times it's limited by 2 or 4 hours for where and how you can park. And as we go down Wilson, you're going to see many of the famous restaurants and not only that, but places to shop. Again, we're going west and we're going through Rosslyn right now on our way to Courthouse. And of course, they're also defined by their stops on the Metro line. So each of these sections of North Arlington will have their own Metro. Now, one of the more famous Vietnamese restaurants that I love to go to that is only cash is over here on the right-hand side. And you can see the pho restaurant here on the right. Very well known, Pho 75. Always a line out the door. Roadside Grill, that's been a long time establishment. It's funny, from the street it looks small. It actually has not only the entire main level, but a huge basement bar, 2 separate bars area for entertaining. Is great for large groups. I've attended more than one party there where they rented out the entire lower level of Roadside Grill. Of course, the challenge with all of these is, where's the extra parking? You're going to see this for such a big establishment. They're only parking dedicated to it is on the left-hand side. It's probably less than 20 spaces. So that's why so many people will Metro or Uber around North Arlington. It's just kind of a way of life. You'll pay a premium, of course. Now, North Arlington versus South Arlington. South Arlington doesn't have any of the Metro lines. Here it is on the left-hand side. You can see you are dependent entirely on 395 and driving wherever you go versus being in North Arlington where you have access to the Metro lines. Turnberry Tower is a unique condo building built in 2009 that's right here in the heart of Rosslyn, close to the city, close to everything. You will notice that it has a higher condo fee as well as a higher price point. Average price point is easily over $1 million. You'll see many 2-bedroom, 3 bedrooms that go for over $2 million and even $3 million when you're looking at. So if you're thinking opulence, location close to the city, this is where you can have it right here in North Arlington. There are multiple condo buildings all around, and you just have to figure out what do you want out of your condo building. Do you want the rooftop pool? Do you want the full-time management? Do you want the on-site reception? You can get all of the above and different within North Arlington. So standing here outside of Ballston Mall that was built in the 50s, it got completely renovated in 2019 and is now Ballston Quarter. So locals and residents will still call it Ballston Mall. Today, people know it as Ballston Quarter. We have over 20 different places for dining. It is amazing to see the transformation that's happened since 2019. You definitely want to add this in as your place to go out and eat, have a fun night out for dining, and truly enjoy the experience of so much variety of different cuisines located in one area. You also have, beyond that, you have the ice rink where the Capitals actually come and practice. In addition, you have the Regal Cinemas. So anything you want for truly a dinner and night out, you have here at Ballston Quarter. And now we're inside of Ballston Quarter, and I want to show you some of my favorite spots and places you definitely want to check out when you visit North Arlington. Now inside of Ballston Quarter, you have the Quarter Market, which is a fun, kind of a food hall. We have everything from Asian cuisine with ramen to barbecue, pizza, and even poke bowls. So if you're looking for variety, looking for something different, you definitely want to check out right inside of Ballston Quarter and what they call the Quarter Market and come and enjoy a fine dining experience. Punch Bowl Social, whether late night dining or early brunch, you can get it all here. And of course it has bowling, billiards, darts, foosball, anything you would want to have fun and enjoy nightlife and daytime. And of course, if you're here for dining, you want to make sure you get the box office appeal where you can watch the latest movies here within Ballston Quarter at their renovated movie theater. Make sure you sign up online so you can pick your seat. They also have their own self-ticketing kiosk. And if you're looking for a spot with a cool vibe, look no further than Wino. Right within Ballston Quarter on level 2, you're gonna see it has multiple bars. You can have lunch and even dinner here. I love their happy hour special. Amazing prices for that. Beyond that, this entire space can be rented out. We've even had the entire place for one of our events. So think beyond going out for dinner. You could even have this as a corporate space. It's got amazing views of Ballston itself and a very fun vibe. You want to come and check it out. Check out the art. The art typically turns over every 6 months. So even if you've been here before, you can come and see new artwork being displayed by local artists. And make sure you check out Ted's Bulletin, which has great lunch and even better brunch. You have to make sure you try the Pop-Tarts. Their homemade Pop-Tarts are what everyone keeps coming back for when you think about Ted's Bulletin. Okay, so we're now in Lyon Park, and in Lyon Park you're going to see a real variety, and you see that throughout North Arlington, where you have the original homes that haven't been touched, maybe a small Rambler or a Cape Cod, and then you have these larger homes. You'll see Lyon Park, the big community area, tot lots and everything that people use and enjoy right here off of Garfield Street. And you'll see the small Cape Cods, or what a lot of times they'll call them bungalows, and then you'll see the larger homes that have been redone. I love these stands. You see them throughout the communities where they have, you know, a little self-made library where you can trade books and go back and forth. You're seeing some construction on the right as they're taking an older home and extending and expanding it. And you'll see price points, if they've been fully redone, anywhere from $2 million and up. If they haven't been touched, you're going to be at least in that 1.5 range. You'll see just some gorgeous homes within this community. This is a coveted area for the convenience to the city, the metro, and really the stylistic design of these homes. And I love when they put on these additional, or all these additions. And I'll take you back through another main street to see this. Based on a lot of Arlington being developed in the 40s, 50s, and 60s, you're going to see these Cape Cods. Cape Cods is where you have the slanted roof line and the pitch here and the dormer windows coming out. And then you have these older homes here. And this is a great composition of North Arlington and even Lyon Park, where you have this older Cape Cod here. And then they just did this, where it was a tear down, and they build this large this large home, and you're probably looking at something that size could sell easily for 2.5 and above. And unfortunately, in North Arlington, they have what we call zero lot lines, and what I mean by that is you don't get a big yard. You don't get a big yard because of the proximity to everything, to the metro line, to DC, and all of that. And if you look straight ahead, you'll see we would be leaving Lyon Park, which is more of a quote-unquote suburban feel, right, where you have single-family homes, and going back to that urban jungle of what is North Arlington as we go back into the Clarendon area and beyond. But as we stay here within Lyon Park, I love that you get single-family homes with close by with that neighborhood feel. And within North Arlington, you're going to have different subsets. You'll have, of course, Lyon Park. You have Lyon Village. You have all these different communities that people know about, they want to be a part of. And you'll continue to see where they take an older home and then they add on to it, or they completely take it down and do a brand new build. You see right here on the corner, one that is original and one that was redone. And you see that's the community house, which is part of Lyon Park itself, and another little library. And you can see a large new construction going on here, and the flips that you'll see in North Arlington are going to range anywhere from 2 up to really 4 million, especially when they're building this kind of a large construction. They did it well. A lot of times the garages will actually be in the basement levels because of the terrain. If you can't get a good feel for it, it is hilly. North Arlington, throughout all of Northern Virginia, they have the rolling hills. So you'll see that where a lot of times the basements are in ground and or the garages are on the lower level in order to gain size. And let me show you some other, the nice thing is, as long as it's county compliant, there is no homeowners association. That's why you see such a variety of home styles, because they don't have to conform to anything except for the county or city regulations. There is no HOA or homeowners association to block you from doing something. Personally, I love a front porch, and I love what they've done here by keeping kind of that same old aesthetic feel of it, of having that true front porch as we drive through the community. You see over on our right-hand side, we were talking about, elevations, and this is where you have hardy plank going all around, and then they have a stone water table, not only in the front, but going around it. If it's an older home, on the left-hand side, you'll see this, or even here, you'll see an older home. It's sometimes the brick goes all the way around. With new construction, it's usually just a brick facade. It's just in the front, and it doesn't go all the way around. And I love a true brick home that you can see wraps the entire foundation. Again, smaller lot lines, but people are willing to give that up because of the proximity. Now, a lot of people have converted their summer porches here into living space. You'll see on the right-hand side, they didn't do a huge addition, but they converted that porch into a closed-in area, so it's more of a 3-season or 4-season room. A lot of times people bring electric out to it as well, so they can really use it for everything. You will have tighter roads in this section of North Arlington, where it makes it tight for parking. That's why it's so important to get your off-street parking. The big thing is you want to be on the high side of the train. You don't want to be where someone else can run down on you. So be cognizant of that, of the topography, when you go to buy a property and looking to do that. So we've jumped over 66. We're still in North Arlington in an area called Cherrydale. Cherrydale is well known, established before 1900. And the fun thing is you still got proximity to DC and to the metros. You're not walkable though, like in the urban jungle of North Arlington. The distinction is price and the size of lots. You get a little bit larger yards here. And in addition to that, the price is not as high. You'll see ranges, but you'll be able to find a lot more affordable for maybe a fixer-upper in the 8s and 9s, going up to, easily up to $3.5 million. But you'll see a lot more affordability here in Cherrydale, and access still, as you can see straight ahead, you'll still get access to restaurants, and dining, and everything else. And of course, we're going to go through some road work here. That's happening everywhere throughout North Arlington. But you'll see the combination of residential, commercial. You see the construction happening here, and then as we go further up, you'll see the ranges of the bungalow style on the right to a full remodel. You know, one of the tricks within Arlington is if enough of the original structure is left, then there's a lot more leniency on what you can create and do within Arlington. And you'll see an example. I love seeing this. So you got 2 split foyer single family homes, and then a large custom home that was built, 2-car garage. And again, we're going up a hill. As I said, in Virginia, you have the rolling hills. This is also a coveted area of Arlington. North Arlington versus South Arlington, you get the better school districts as far as rankings go, where you're going to have Washington and Liberty, which used to be Washington and Lee, and you also have Yorktown. And you see some of the architecture from the early 1900s, and those that have added on. And this is the draw. Now you do have parking, and it's typically just on one side just because the streets are more narrow. But the draw, as I said, is you want to be close in proximity to the metros and North Arlington, but you still want the yard. And that's what you get here in Cherrydale. Now remember, no association. That's why they can have those boats right outside their house. You're allowed to do that because as long as it's not a county violation, you can kind of do whatever you want when it comes to outside the home. You can paint it pink, you can paint it brown. Again, you'll see the brick on the older homes goes all the way around. And here's a good example. This is a newer construction, so it's only the brick facade in the front, and you have the hardy plank or even vinyl siding wrapping around the rest of the home. And in the distance, you can see, headed back to that urban jungle, you see the high rises. So it's really fun and how close you can. So when we go north of 66, you get access to more of that mature setting. It feels like a community, feels like you're quote unquote in the suburbs, but yet you still have access to everything. And then once we cross over 66, we're kind of back now more into, we're headed back to the Ballston area, but we're back into that urban jungle, that feel that you get in North Arlington. You can see all Capital Bike Share, all of them are out. All the Capital Bike Shares are out. And then this is one of the main schools I was just mentioning, Washington Liberty High School. And people will pay a premium to be in this school district. This, as well as Yorktown, if you compare the two, Yorktown scores a little bit higher. And you can see the variety of the homes that are on the same block. This is what we like to jokingly call Friday night lights, because if you are this close, you can see the stadium on your left. You will hear and feel the football games if you're this close in proximity to the stadium. And this, we're right along Washington Boulevard, which is another major street going through Arlington. We've already shown you Clarendon and also Wilson Boulevard. Here at the Iwo Jima Memorial, this is one of my favorite places to come, to visit, to be a part of as we commemorate those that have served and take in the view. This is an amazing view that they've memorialized and made part of the national parks. You can get there off the GW Parkway. It's just south of Route 50 as you're going into the city, and just south of Rosslyn, North Arlington. This is a great opportunity where they have many events throughout the year, especially the Marine Corps Marathon. You've probably heard about it before. Yes, right, the Marine Corps Marathon, the official stop is right here. Not only do Marines put it on, along with the helps of many volunteers, but the final finish line is just beyond here, where you can finish get your medal from a Marine, and then come up to the Iwo Jima Memorial and take a photo. It's one of the best attended, best represented marathons throughout the entire country. And the proximity from here to Netherlands, especially in the springtime where you can see all the tulips in bloom. And don't forget, during the 4th of July, this is the area where people come to watch. They come and watch the fireworks, because if you can see in the distance just behind me, the gorgeous view that you have from the Virginia side looking into DC, where you can see all the fireworks on the 4th of July without having to get into the traffic that you have going into DC for them. At the Iwo Jima Memorial, many people don't know there's a fun and free thing you can do, especially in the summertime. They call it their sunset parades. They've been doing it since the 1950s, and it's a wonderful opportunity for someone to experience and get a visual portrayal of what it looks like for people to serve in the military as part of their silent drill. And it is amazing to see at sunset where you truly honor the servicemen and women that have served proudly and get a chance to just see what goes behind it, and take a look at the great view capturing the city as you watch the parade. It happens not only at the Iwo Jima, also at the Lincoln Memorial and the barracks at 8th and I. And next to Iwo Jima Memorial, you have Arlington National Cemetery. This was established in 1864. There are over 25 burials performed each day, over 400,000 servicemen and women as their final resting place. During Memorial Day, an interesting thing that happens is they place a flag in front of every burial site. And this is where the famous Tomb of the Unknowns is guarded 24/7 by the Old Guard. It is a place of remembrance and a wonderful place to visit, whether you're a tourist or you live here locally in Washington, D.C. And now we're in the courthouse, one of the famous Irish pubs on our right-hand side, Four Courts. And one of our title companies is actually over here on the right-hand side in the Colonial Village. You have access to, as we said before, the retail as well as shopping. And the metro over on your left-hand side. Remember I said each one of these is anchored by a metro stop. So we went from Rosslyn, now we're into Courthouse, and we're going to continue to go west and show you Clarendon, which is also a large attraction point. So when someone says when they live in North Arlington, they're not even going to say North Arlington. They're actually going to be somewhat snobbish about it and say, well, I live in Rosslyn, or I live in Courthouse, or whatnot. So you automatically assume that someone knows more about North Arlington. So and when you're looking at a map, just see how it jumps from one to the next to the next. You'll see a little M on there for metro stop, and you'll see how convenient and easy it is for access. And that's why it does so well. Most people that move here want to be within a half a mile of the metro. Now you're going to see that. You're going to see that in real estate sales prices. The closer you are to the metro, the higher price point that you'll pay, whether it's condo, single family, townhome, whatever it is. Now, be aware of this. In North Arlington, to be in a condo, you could pay anywhere from $500,000 up to $3 million if you wanted to be in a condo. Now, the interesting starter for a townhouse, where it's fee simple, you would be paying minimum of $1 million and north of that, usually 1 to 1.5 for any townhouse. Very rare it is in North Arlington to find a lot of single family. If we did find single family, you are starting out easily at 1.8 and above. On the market right now, there's less than 5 for sale, and they're all above $2 million. The fun thing about North Arlington is it still has some dive bars. You'll see that with Galaxy Hut, Iona. There's probably at least 5 quote-unquote local dive bars that are still there. Now, Ambar, if you're looking for a wonderful night out, Ambar has those selections where you can get unlimited, multiple selections of food and various styles. Great. Now we're entering into Clarendon. Clarendon, you'll see the metro right here on your left-hand side. This is what we mean by how easy and accessible entire North Arlington is. You'll see the Clarendon station on the left. And you still get that kind of urban concrete jungle feel. Some people love it. Some would rather see more nature. If you're thinking more nature, that's where we're going to push you further out. You're either going to be further north in Arlington, away from the metro lines, or south. If you choose to leave Arlington, that's where a lot of people will jump into Falls Church, and that's easily accessible as well from the metro lines. So as we clear Clarendon, the last stop within North Arlington is going to be Ballston. And you can see how Wilson Boulevard is that major thoroughfare that takes you through all of North Arlington. Now, I mentioned townhouses before. Obviously condos, we've passed by a ton of them. You'll see some fee simple townhouses and condo townhouses, some with garage, some without, and starting prices on townhomes with this proximity is going to easily be over $1 million. Now, you can see some of these small single family homes, you're going to be at least $850 and above, and you'll see some. Now, here's what's interesting. You see these small ones. Now, look at these monster ones on the right-hand side that have been redone. That's where you're looking at $2 million plus. As a result of, really, you're just paying for that proximity to be in a single family home and be able to walk to the metros. Now, we're out in Ballston, and so the further we go away from the city, of course, a little bit more you get for your money. And even with those expensive homes, when you're more urban, you're willing to have diversity as far as price points and ranges. For instance, with apartment buildings and condo buildings, where the price point would be much less than the $1 million plus that we had talked about. Other thing people love is being able to park in Ballston Mall. It's the easiest place to park if you're going to get around Ballston and enjoy everything it has to offer. Thank you for joining us on a tour of North Arlington. It's been amazing to show you everything from high-rise condos like Turnberry Tower, as well as low-rise, single family, and even townhouses. North Arlington has it all, as well as in North Arlington you have that Orange Line corridor with all of the metro stops. So if you're looking for ease, convenience, and location, North Arlington should be the answer for you.